What can local governments do to make sure that their communities are as safe as possible during emergencies and disasters? And how can they include people with disabilities in their emergency planning and response? The BC Coalition of People with Disabilities has been working with emergency social services, first responders, health authorities, community organizations, and people with disabilities to share information and provide training on inclusive emergency planning. Under the law, local governments have the obligation to provide public services in a non-discriminatory way. This means that services like emergency notifications and services at reception centers must be provided in a way that are accessible to all citizens, including, for example, people who are deaf, people who have visual disabilities, or those who are wheelchair users. So the first thing to clarify is, what do we mean by the duty to accommodate? This term describes the legal responsibility to meet the needs of people with disabilities in public services and programs. Local governments have a duty to accommodate. That means to ensure that their services are accessible to people with disabilities. The two laws that determine the duty to accommodate in BC are the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the BC Human Rights Code. In the booklet, we outline what these laws say and how the Canadian courts have interpreted government's duty to accommodate.
The duty to accommodate lies first and foremost with the branch of government providing or implementing a benefit or service. An example may help to clarify this rule. Consider a reception center which operates to receive community members during a forest fire. Where that reception center is chosen, implemented, and operated by local authorities, the duty to accommodate rests primarily with them. The Supreme Court of Canada has ruled unanimously that the duty to accommodate requires accommodation up to the point of undue hardship. Failure to accommodate to the point of undue hardship will likely result in a violation of an individual's constitutional rights. Where an accommodation is required, the law may require the provider of the accommodation to incur some hardship. Only at the point of undue hardship is that duty limited. While financial expense is an important consideration in the determination of undue hardship, in one landmark case on disability, the Supreme Court of Canada held that financial expense alone was insufficient to create an undue hardship because the accommodation requested was a small portion of the defendant government's overall operating budget.
The booklet also addresses some of the concerns that local governments may have about the resources needed to create plans that include people with a range of disabilities. But inclusion doesn't have to be labor-intensive or expensive. We suggest ways that local governments can use existing resources and capacities in the local community. Engaging the community in emergency planning and response will expand the circle of safety for all citizens. An important thing to remember is that we're here to help. In the booklet, we list some key resources that we have produced, including an on-site workshop for local governments that we can bring to your community. For more information on our resources and workshops, please feel free to contact us. Our thanks to the Law Foundation of British Columbia for funding this legal educational booklet and video.